Good day, everybody, and thanks for joining us on another Rejuve.AI community spotlight. I'm very pleased to have our Cole Bartlett with us today. He's very in-depth, very involved already in the crypto, and obviously we're going to find out a bit more from him rather than just listening to me. So why don't I stop there and pass it over to Cole and say, where you're from and what do you do, first of all?
Yeah, of course. Hi, Stuart. Thanks for having me on today. And yeah, it's great to um, share my journey and what I do with the Rejuve community. So I'm actually from the United States. I grew up in Vermont, in the US, but now I actually live in Salt Lake City on the totally other side of the country.
Hmm.
And a little bit about like what I do. I guess for the last 4 years, I've been focused full time in the blockchain space, blockchain ecosystem, mostly within the Cardano community.
Hmm.
And this really actually started with interest. My senior year in college, I was studying economics and sustainability, and I found a strong interest in sustainability and how it can connect to blockchain technology and how projects can be leveraged for good and really make the world a more sustainable and equitable place for all.
Mhm.
And because of this, I actually started something called Sustainable ADA with my good buddy
Hmm.
Razali Samsudin. And pretty much what we would do is highlight stories and use cases of projects building in the world all over the globe with true boots on the ground and sharing their positive impact and how they're
Hmm.
making a difference on the world. And something cool we would do with every project, we would connect it to the Sustainable Development Goals, 17 development goals that were set out by like the UN to help find a way to measure or like look at sustainability. So
Hmm.
that was like a really cool connection we'd make. And then actually like a little further after starting Sustainable Data, we released a book called Recalibrating Value, Identity, and Impact. And this
Hmm.
was one of like the actual reasons why I got like more involved in the Rejuve community and
Hmm.
where I like really took a big deep dive in. And from that, we highlighted over 65 different projects in the Cardano space that are making a positive impact on the world. And Rejuve.AI actually was one of those projects. So that's where that connection kind of
Hmm.
comes in. And
Hmm.
actually, today, right now, I'm still doing that stuff on the side, but
Hmm.
I'm also helping a project called Unbox the Universe. And what we're doing is we're bringing the first programmable smart tokens to Cardano. And with smart tokens, you can actually program rules and conditions within
Hmm.
the token itself. And this creates a lot of really cool possibilities like soul-bound tokens and different things like that. So that's also a little bit more what I'm doing these days, and I'm a project manager for them. And yeah, that's a kind of a quick little overview of, I guess, what I've been doing the last 4 years and what I'm doing now. And also, actually, something I forgot to mention was I'm also part of this project called Impact Web3. And through the Project Catalyst ecosystem, we've been focused on impact like metrics and like tracking like these projects impacts like socially, environmentally, and economically. And that's also another project that we work with some NGOs and stuff that I do as well.
Right. Oh, that's fascinating. And a very busy man. Thanks for touching base on Cardano and the overlap there with Rejuve.ai. So when you were looking at those various projects, what is it about Rejuve that caught particularly caught your attention? That stood out for you. Put it that way.
Yeah, of course. Well, I guess to start, really my first introduction to Rejuve AI was when the project was released or launched. I've been a big fan of the Singularity Net ecosystem for
Hmm.
quite a while now, and I've been like really interested in seeing what these other projects can do. And um, really, what caught my idea was like the focus on like health tech and longevity research, like as a whole, and combining that with AI and all these other tools. Like I hadn't really seen a project like this, and the way like blockchain is being leveraged, the way AI is being leveraged, and all these different things was just really astonishing for me. And like really cool to see. So like I was like, it's been like honestly one of my favorite projects because you can submit your own health data, get rewarded for it, and then it can also um, go back to like providing help or providing good information for different research studies on longevity and other things. And I think that's so powerful, like being able to like take it every day like task as like sharing health data and sharing information and being able to have that leveraged at like a larger scale is a really cool idea. And that's I'd say like what really caught my eye at first.
Hmm.
And then when the beta app actually came out, I was one of the first 500 beta testers, and I've been testing it ever since. I've submitted some bugs and stuff throughout the process, but it's been really cool to see the app grow. And like whenever I share with a friend or a colleague or anyone like about Rejuve.AI, like their eyes always light
Hmm.
up and they're like, wow, like I didn't know a project is trying to do something like this. Like so yeah, it's been one of my favorite Cardano based projects, but also just like across the entire cryptoverse blockchain world, like it's one of my top projects that I just enjoy learning about and sharing
Hmm.
with people and talking about.
Oh, neat. And obviously with the technology, the blockchain, the healthcare, that's a big part of Rejuve.AI at the back end, shall we say. In terms of obviously wellness and longevity and encouraging that and supporting that with data, AI driven data. I mean, how do you yourself when the app launches, how do you plan to use in your own health um, quests, or in your own wellness? How do you relate to it in that sense?
Yeah, of course. Well, I'd say like kind of like I'm gonna answer that, but to
Hmm.
connect like with my interest in the like the longevity world and
Right.
like
Hmm.
health world, I'd say is um maybe I would say my connection with sustainability. Like growing up, like I was a big really interested in like getting outside, experiencing like getting more connected with the earth and also like maybe using that as like healing mechanism in a way, but also like I'm a big fly fisherman, so I love
Hmm.
to just be out in nature and kind of and go in depth with it all.
Hmm.
And I'd say like that was like maybe part of my interest in like maybe creating a healthier lifestyle. Like I guess there's a little mental health pieces and stuff in there. But I'd say like going forward, like I think being able to leverage like an app like this where I could be rewarded for my contribution of my health data, but also I can use um those key metrics and the key data to help my own journey and help the different supplements I choose maybe and the different ways I go about foods I eat and maybe like I sleep a little more or something if like my sleep schedule's off a bit. So I think like all these metrics and this data can really just help me as a person like grow and become a better, healthier person in my life as well. And I think that's also like such a powerful thing because maybe a lot of people around the world don't have access to like these type of
Hmm.
metrics and this type of information, but being able to like get that right at your fingertips and then also like be incentivized and
Hmm.
encouraged to do it as well, I think that can really change the world. And this is also like what really interests me in like Rejuve AI because
Hmm.
I think like well, big question is how are we going to onboard more people into the blockchain space? Like, where are they going to come from? All this stuff, but easily anyone could connect with what Rejuve AI is doing and have a connection, or not even know they're using the blockchain and be using and working around with the Rejuve AI app. So I think that's really cool, and I think a lot of people will be onboarded through the Rejuve AI community because of that.
Oh, it's very nice of you to say. Glad I appreciate what you're referring to. It's been a bit of a struggle in the blockchain community thinking about real world applications. So and getting broad amount of people on board. So yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, you've been involved with our community now a bit more seriously the last few months. How do you think how do you see the community evolving, over the rest of the year? What's your interested in your thoughts on that?
Of course, yeah, no, I've gotten a lot more involved with the Rejuve.AI community, and I'm actually recently became a KOL for Rejuve.AI and
mm-hmm.
helping really push their mission and vision in every little pocket I can, and every reach of the world. That's kind of what my goal is. And I really think there's going to be like a really cool there's a really cool roadmap, and I think there's a really cool like horizon, I'd say. Like I think it's going to be, or maybe that's not the best way to put it, but I see like in the horizon like some really cool things happening, and I think it's going to make a huge impact on so many people's lives. And I'm really excited to see the app launch. I'd say that's like what I'm really, really looking forward to for the rest of this year, because I think that's like been almost my hardest piece since being a
Mm-hmm.
beta tester. It's people can't really be onboarded to the app, and everyone's always like, how do I get involved? Like, how do I get this app? And I'm like, oh, it's still in beta, but I'll let you know. So I'm really excited for the launch, and I think it's going to be amazing, and I think it's going to really surprise and onboard a lot of people who also just didn't even know something like this existed. And I think a lot of people will want to leverage it because one of my favorite pieces is that you can even connect like your own Apple Watch or like
Right.
an Aura ring or a
Mm.
Garmin or something like that. So when you're sleeping almost, or when you're not even knowing it, you can receive like Rejuve tokens for your contribution in that way as well. So I think people will be inputting lots of data, lots of information, and but also I think like the fact that you can kind of do it passively as well is really cool too.
Sure. Well, it's great to hear your enthusiasm there. I mean, obviously, Rejuve has got the benefit comes from that decentralized blockchain background. So it's, in built into its DNA is that desire to democratize health and longevity. But obviously, grabbing the headlines, we've had the Kardashians recently checking their biological age. I mean, just to finish off our chat, what's your thought about that side? The more glitzy end of the longevity industry. Is that helping or hindering getting the word out? What's your thoughts and feelings
Um,
on that?
yeah, I feel like it could have like maybe a little bit of a both effects. Like
Hmm.
I think like maybe I think it's a good thing. I feel like for the longevity space as a whole, like I feel like news and information has kind of been not really putting on on
Hmm.
the main page, if that makes sense. Like I
Sure.
feel like it's maybe been avoided a bit because maybe a lot of people have tried a lot of things and like they just don't see much changing. But I think like with those type of people getting involved, like also is like a great thing because it
Hmm.
shows people maybe who are encouraged or like follow those people that there are possibilities to learn about your health, and there's ways you can change what you do in your everyday life to make your life and a long, happy life and a long, like, I think that's one of the most important pieces in the world. Like,
Hmm.
uh, how do we get to like experience this amazing world, and how do we get to extend and go through this life in the most healthy, happiest ways? And I think the more and more like this is focused on, it will change many millions of people's lives. And
Hmm.
I do think like yeah, I think it's a good thing, honestly. But I'm really excited to see like how AI can help accelerate this research and this next um this next revolution of longevity research and health information. So yeah.
Cool. Well, that's a nice point to wrap up. Thank ending on the potential for the health revolution from AI, but obviously also supported by the blockchain, which you're obviously deeply involved with, Cole. So it's a real pleasure to have you on our community spotlight. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure as well, and I look forward to yeah, seeing more of the Rejuve community and getting to know everyone. Thank you so much for having me on, and I'm ready for that app to launch. So let's go.